Hello everyone and welcome to this video from knowledgeoman.com. So today I'm going to teach you how to create this awesome wallpaper modification. This was the actual wallpaper and which will be turning it into something like this. It's really cool. I hope you like this kind of styles. So let's get started. I'll be starting with the wallpaper which was actual. So let's first thing we do is to duplicate the layer you're using so that you don't lose the actual look of this wallpaper in case you really want to reload everything back. So the first best way to make a duplicate of this layer is to either right click on the layer and select duplicate layer, or you could simply use the shortcut which is Ctrl J. So just for you guys to see, I'll use the normal way. So right click duplicate layer and you could leave the name as it is. Once you've done that, so that you could again roll back to the original image in case you really want to pick up some points. Okay, once you've done this, create a new layer, and on this layer what I'll be doing is changing the color of this wallpaper. So I won't be using one color, I'll be using portions of different colors. So the best way to do that is using the best tool, which is the brush tool, and you can simply right click on your wallpaper here, which is the page which you have in Photoshop open, or you could open up this arrow bar here to change your settings of your brush. So I'll show you the shortcuts. I'll be showing you many shortcuts as possible so that it's very easy for you guys to know. So just right click anywhere in the screen here and I'll roll back to any normal sharp brush, lower the hardness to way up to 0% and make the size somewhere where you can see you can get some big size here. Let's take somewhere around, this will be good. Okay, once you've done that, I'll just change my foreground color to something like red and just brush up some areas. That depends on which color you're really interested in. I'll just brush up something like this, and I'll be using a couple of colors. So let's take this green, I'll use something here. I'll be using a pink color somewhere on the top there. You can just use up all the areas there, and don't be too hard, so that's why we use a soft brush. And another color we missed. Okay, I'll take blue somewhere there, and take a yellow and we'll brush up it somewhere here, something here, another there. Okay, once you've done that, now the look of this is really weird, so let's blur this up so that it kind of combines and overlays within all the colors here. So the best way to do that is, let's go to filter, blur, and choose Gaussian blur. So you could just lower this a bit so that where you feel it's really kind of mixing up there. I think this is kind of good. If you use it completely up, that's way too much. Let's reduce this somewhere around 90, 96 would be okay. And once that's done, you don't really have to move that because you can see the cut edges. You'd have to re-mask that again. So Ctrl Z. Okay, once you've done that, change the blending mode of this colors layer. Let's name this to colors. Okay, and change the blending mode from normal to color, which would completely change the color of your wallpaper. You could just see that by clicking on the eye here. It was, and now it is. Okay, once that's done, that's one really cool thing. Now the best option to make the bright areas like the one you see here below the mountains really bright, you just make a new layer, hold on Control and click on the colors thumbnail here so that you get the selection of your colors here, and we see a small round there. Let's fill that up. So select your marquee tool, the selection tool, any of the selection tool from these two, not those two. Okay, oops, Ctrl Z. Okay, select your, let's say, elliptical tool and hold your shift key, and you can see near the plus sign we got a plus. That means adding selection to your selection. So just highlight this. Once you got that selected, let's give a nice white gradient glow, which I'll be showing you a trick how to glow up the white edges here. So I'm going to select the gradient tool and again right click on the stage, and let's take a white. Yeah, I've got a white awesome glow here, which is a gray to a white and to a gray. You could use any one you'd really like, but it's best to switch to a white color. Once you've done that, Make sure your mode is set to normal and don't make any other changes up here, and you could just drag and leave here. Oh damn, we got this circle again here, so I think we really need to fix that. Let's select some times here, and ouch, that's a lot. Okay, let's do one thing. The best thing I'll do is it's messing up that thing, so I'm going to make my own selection. So switch to your elliptical marquee tool, and I won't be just drawing the selection here. I'll be setting a feather pixels for this. Let's say somewhere around 30 pixels, so we get soft edges on around the corners, and make a selection. Once you've done that, now let's switch to our gradient tool and click and drag. That's a lot less feather there. Let's increase this feather way up to somewhere around 100. Really want a soft edge, and let's select the gradient tool and fill. There we go, that's a good one. Now control D to deselect, and can I move this? Yeah, it's not getting any cut edges around, so just focus this white thing above the glow you really want and change the blend mode to overlay. You can see that you got a really bright one there. You can even try dodge, that's too much. Soft light might be a good, but I really like the overlay style how it does. And I could lower this opacity around 80% or something if you don't really want it a lot of bright, something like, yeah, I think 80 is good. Once you've done that, now I really like to add some good rays. There are already some rays here, you can see, but that's really the default one, so I really want to add mine. Let's create a new layer again, and I'll name this one to glow, and here I'm going to call this something like ray 1. And I've got a really cool set of brushes that are ready with some different kind of rays, so I'll scroll way down in my brushes here, and I can give these for you guys to download. There's a cool website like obsidiandawn.com, and it's got really cool brushes. You could refer to many different websites to get some awesome brushes. Okay, so I'm going to select something like, there are some really cool ones here. I'll try this one. Make sure you lower the brush size because the original brush size is way too big, so I'll take something else, something like this. This might be a good one. And once you've done that, just let's make sure your foreground color is set to white, not yellow, and you can just click somewhere around there. Yeah, that's good. And it really looks weird actually, really the white is, so I'll always change my blending options to something like soft light. Oh, that's really not seen. Let's take overlay. That's also really not seen. Let's do one thing. Let's take another brush. There are some really awesome brushes which you really need to switch and check on. So somewhere around this, yeah, that's good. Yeah, you could see that different rays there. People really not know it's things that you have added. Okay, let's try another one. I think these are really cool ones. This is like something it's taken from a camera. Yep. And what I do is I'll make a new layer for every ray I create. So I'll call this ray 2 and click once, and make sure you change the blend mode to overlay. And it's really not seen, so I really want that to be seen the same place it is, so I'm going to duplicate my layer ray 2. So the best, again, the shortcut control J. Now you really can see that. Again, another new layer, change the blend mode to overlay, change the brush. You could press your B key on your keyboard to switch to your brush tool, and just right click on your screen again. It's really the best ways to use shortcuts here in Photoshop. And another one there, yeah, that's really cool. I'm duplicating that, again control J. That's a cool one. I really need a ray point at this point here, so I think this one is I got some really, there are some really cool ones here. Let's try something like, no, it's not really good, this, I guess. Let's lower this size and check on this and make a new layer again. Right click, just that size. That's really too bright. I got one that's really awesome. I think it's up here. Yeah, this one, I guess. Let's check that. Yeah, it's really cool one. Okay, let's check this. So another shortcut I'm going to show you in brushes. It's really the way I just found that by mistake. Okay, it's hold on Alt on your keyboard. Just hold on Alt. You'll see the eyedropper. Don't, never mind of that. And right click and just reduce, like the way I'm doing it. I'll tell you again. Hold on your Alt key, ignore the side dropper here, just hold your right click and drag leftwards and rightwards. It increases the size of your brush, and you can't really see the other option here. It actually appears in red, so the up and down increases the softness and hardness. So I'll show you that in another tutorial. It will be seen. Okay, once I'm done that, it's really small, so big. There we go, big again.